one of the things that I found quite strange is that again and again you hear this same description. When I left the body, I felt, basically experienced and felt a world I'd never experienced before. Or I felt this love or this bliss, and I'd never felt it before. And then you think, well, you believe in reincarnation after your near-death experience, and they go, oh, yeah, yeah. Well, why haven't you felt it before then? Why haven't you experienced it before? You must have experienced it many times. Why don't you remember? And all this started to come together when I started to come across accounts of people who could remember the pre-human life state world. They could, some of them remember, they're very few, but the common themes again are very, very compelling. They could remember the incarnation process. One of the things that kind of strikes you is the way they describe it is very technological. We think of the spirit world, the astral, as kind of spiritual and what have you, but actually what they're describing is something very technological, the process. And of course, plasma is the fourth state of matter, they say, and it may be a more ethereal physicality, if you like, but it's still a form of physicality. And what they describe, first of all, is when they come out of the astral and they enter this realm, the density of the energy is absolutely, they say, indescribable. It's so dense, it's almost hard to even experience it. And so we need to be kind to ourselves for a start, because we are in an energetic density that makes, the wider perception of reality, shall we say, very challenging. It's like walking.
Actually, David, if I may just chime in, because this came a number of times when reading the book, and I have had this memory almost all my life, almost from birth, coming into this cold, very heavy, very dark place compared
Yeah.
to what and feeling almost trapped in the body. And I remember my parents, my mother would tell me I cried a lot as a baby. And I had the distinct memory why I was actually crying. I was crying for this expanded place and the kind of love that in the human realm very rarely actually happens or you experience. And I've had this, and it wasn't until later in life that I realized why, but it is incredible. And then when you actually go to this expanded state of awareness through whatever process or when it happens, you remember what it actually feels like when you are who you truly are. So being in a human body and being in this experience here is actually probably the most challenging thing you could possibly
Oh,
imagine.
yeah. I mean, those people that do have some memories of this say that um, this is an incredibly challenging place, and it's incredibly challenging for a reason, and I'll come to it. It's nothing to do with learning lessons to evolve. Um,
No, and my wife blames me because she says I talked her into doing it one more time here for a particular reason. She says I talked her into it, and I think she's probably right.
well, I've said over the years, I think that there was loads of people in a line, and they asked for volunteers to come here, and everyone else took a step back, and I was I was standing there, But oh me, yeah, well, I better do it then. But yeah, so the other thing that they talk about.
Unfortunately, YouTube won't allow us to show you the entire David Icke interview, but you can watch the full, uncensored, and absolutely breathtaking conversation over at our website, theinspiredchannel.com, or simply click on the link in the video description.